Before the Bassman, before the Twin, before anything was called Black or Silverface by Fender, there was the Dual Professional. Released in 1947, it was Fender's first combo amp that featured two 10-inch speakers as well as a top-facing chrome control plate. Later, Fender would rebrand this as the Super Amp, but the Dual Professional is where that lineage starts. The Dual Professional was designed for musicians playing in bands, particularly ones that are playing in big band or Western-style swing music. Fast forward to today, we're going to take a look at the collaboration between Fender and Joe Bonamassa. This is the 1948 reissue of the Dual Professional, and prove that old school designs still matter in 2025. My name is Chris Ellis. Thank you for stopping by. So jumping ahead to the year 2020. We all know that Joe Bonamassa is a huge collector of vintage Fender and Gibson amps and guitars. Joe Bonamassa came across one of these vintage Dual Professionals, and while he might have just thought this would be a nice addition to my collection, once he plugged it in, he found that the sound was completely different than what he thought. Man, this is good. So after talking with his friends at Fender, he wanted to know if it was possible to recreate that sound in a modern reissue. And Fender said, absolutely, let's give it a shot. And they created the Joe Bonamassa Dual Professional Signature Amplifier. This thing is completely hand-wired, has two 10-inch 35-watt Celestion 10-inch speakers, two 6L6 power tubes. The preamp section has two EF806s and one 12AU7. A 5 U4GB rectifier tube, covered with period-correct white tweed covering and a brown fabric grill cloth. So coming in at 26 watts, this is a zero-nonsense amp. No channel switching, just pure massive tube tone. So it's not just about nostalgia, it's about the feel. It's the tone that you get underneath your hands. And that's what kept amps like this relevant, and that's why it holds a place here in 2025. This amp still matters today because it just feels right. The Dual Professional doesn't need to be flashy or modern. It's built on fundamentals that never stopped working. The clean tones are wide, rich, and full of character. You get that bounce and clarity that lets every note breathe. But here's the beauty of it. Even if it's not clean, it's not stiff. It responds to your playing in an incredibly satisfying way. If you pick soft, your tone is going to be warm and mellow, but if you really dig in, it's going to get that nice tube saturation breakup that's really going to make this amp sing. All right, so let's hear how this amp sounds. I'm going to be using my ES335. We're miking the Dual Professional with an SM57. I have a Topanga reverb pedal on for just a little bit of reverb. And I'm going to play some single lines as well as some rhythm that we dig in a little bit more. You can hear the breakup of the amp. The volume is set at about 3 and the tone is about 8. So let's check it out. So the Dual Professional story comes full circle. From the late 40s to today, it's always been about giving guitarists power, tone, and simplicity. And in a world where guitarists are constantly chasing the next perfect sound, their next perfect amp, it's very refreshing and maybe even almost groundbreaking to plug into something that is so honest. And that's why it's still relevant in 2025 today. Not because it's rare, not because it's boutique or collectible, but because it inspires great playing. And that's the benchmark for any great amp. So if you've ever played one of these or played one of the original Tweeds, let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and check out any of the links that I have in the description if you'd like to support this channel any further. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you guys on the next one.